Just here, just go ahead. I'm going to quickly introduce the cast. This is Josh Pence. He plays Patrick.
Alright, so first of all, before we go to the story, let's talk about the challenges. I know you guys are filming in various locations from New York, LA, Vegas. Also have challenges to this production. How long did it take you?
The co-executive producer, who is the lead actor, Ben Youssef, who plays Ali, he and I started a project approximately 5 years ago over a series of conversations. And one of the key fundamental elements that we were driving towards was building a very full and robust cast of talented actors, and where else to do that other than New York and Los Angeles. So we're very fortunate to have friends and acquaintances such as Josh, Tyra, and Alicia, and Queen to be able to come in on a small, really it's a small film. It has a big scope to it, but it boils down to the characters that were created and the tremendous performances by a very dedicated cast who gave 110% and were able to bring those characters to fruition to the film, and I think it speaks for itself. Ben and I developed a story together, and then I wrote a screenplay based on that story and based on my own travels. I travel a lot, I've been to the Middle East, I've been to 49 countries, and I study a lot of social history and theology and psychology, so I wrapped a bunch of different things into the script. And Ben and I basically built the story around the idea of a good man, a good person, who led down a bad path through circumstance. But at the very end, we wanted to make sure that the heroic moment where he comes full circle around, once he deprograms himself from what he became, he finds his true moral compass and center and finds a way out to basically be the hero. So ultimately the film is about coexistence, and you have all these different characters in the film, different walks of life that metamorphosize themselves into, hopefully in your eyes, a single conduit of human existence. No matter what the color of skin or the background, the religious, or the ideology, people ultimately have a singular vision to live in peace amongst each other. And there's a few bad apples out there that kind of ruin that for us, but we wanted to bring that to the center, and that was the core of the story. I wanted to quickly pass the microphone off to the actors and have them just briefly introduce their characters and how they develop. And if you have any questions about it, it's back in the video. So Josh, yes?
Josh.
Hello, thank you for coming. So I played Patrick, who is obviously the American soldier, and I was drawn to the script because I really liked what Giovanni was trying to say when he was trying to challenge the historical, philosophical, religious underpinnings, which it was obviously very complex, clearly he's quite intelligent. And you don't see a lot of scripts like that out in Hollywood or anywhere really, that have the balls to try and tackle something like that. So, I think I shot those in 2 days. It was like a day and a half. We were moving pretty quickly, truly independent film stuff. So the entire process for me of preparing, I think, was really just a few weeks. A ton of time to transform anything. So it was really just trusting the script, the characters on the page, working with Ben, and just creating that character.
Hey, my name is Tara, and I play the character of Sarah. I was initially drawn to the script also because of the moral behind the story. Like Jill was saying, no matter what color your skin and language you speak, we're all humans, and that really spoke out to me. Sarah's just a really fun, bubbly, outgoing character, obviously, and it was really fun to play. It's really amazing cast and crew to work with too, so I had an amazing time. I hope you guys liked it.
Hi, my name is Alicia Mitchell. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting the film and the festival itself. I played Kelly, and what drew me to this character most of all was her strength and her courage, and roles for females, I think, are are very limited, as they are, mostly it's for men, but especially for strong women, alpha characters, it's very limited. What I like about this is that working with Giovanni allowed me to take this character to an unorthodox level of thinking that even though she may be morally unsure about her decisions, but these decisions are decisions that she made because she wanted them. She's confident, she's secure, and it doesn't really matter whether she may be a prostitute or not, but in that she took that as strength in her sexuality, and that's what I enjoyed about the role. So thanks.
Hi, my name is Colleen Ansari. I played Agent Samuel, the FBI agent, and I'm actually from New York, Washington Heights. Anybody out there? Anyway, what drew me to my character and to the entire project is I'm also a Muslim and one of the other Muslims in the cast, and it was basically the script talking about a different part of the story, and a story that's basically dominated world events for the better part of the last 10 to 15 years. And I thought it was very important to get that message out in a way that showed that there's a real human element to what's going on out there internationally and domestically.
Thank you.
It wasn't very difficult because I would personalize it in something that was very personal to me. And so when, the scenes happened, I was able to do that sort of very easily because it was stabbed, at a very personal place. I went to the Orange County High School of Arts. It's in California for high school, and went from there to the Santa Bernardino studio for 2 years, and kind of just bounced around after that, different comedy and stuff like that. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed working on this project. This character was a lot different than characters I normally play. She's probably over the top and fun. I really enjoyed that scene and being able to dig deep and show that side of that character, because most of the time she's very fun and outgoing, and I was able to make that change.
Any other questions?
Yeah, my name is Noman. I happen to be also a Muslim, live in New York, and we hear all kinds of stories here in New York about NYPD racial profiling. And my question was the arrest of the owner of the bicycle store, Mohammed Mo, was that an instance of racial profiling? Because that obviously is very sensitive to a lot of us in the audience.
Yeah, actually, thank you for asking that. It's a good question. When I saw that scene and I read it over with Giovanni, one of the main things that it highlights, it brings to point many different things, but two of the main things that it brings is it brings highlight to what American Muslims such as yourself and myself have faced post 9/11. And I myself have been harassed many times, and it's something that needed to be told and shown. And also, especially with the way the character handled the arrest, there was such a disconnect. He was more interested in completing the profile rather than getting to the truth. But it was more so to show that this is happening. This is happening to a segment of the population. I'm pretty much the same person I was pre 9/11, but yet I'm now put in this whole other category. But the other part that was important was to show from a film perspective and cinematography, sorry, I'm having trouble getting that word out, to show that the noose was tightening around Ali. And even though that was a well-planned event, it was kept pretty tight, they were taking all sorts of precautions, they were still closing in on him. So, and just to let you know, I refuse to be a part of any project. I was a producer and an actor in this, and I refuse to be a part of any project that further perpetuates a stereotype that's going to divide us even further. So.
Thank you very much.
We need one last quick thank you as you're leaving. Many of our producers are here from New York, and I want to personally thank all of you, the cast, and I want to thank all of you for making this happen. We always forget that without the core belief and structure behind the financing, critical to artists like us, we can never do our job. So we want to thank all the crews involved in New York who made it possible. Thank you guys.
Hello everyone, how y'all doing tonight? I know y'all feeling good. See the Algerian. Big shout out to Giovanni. Big G. everybody, all the filmmakers, especially the SOHO International Film Festival.
Let it ride, we can do it all night. Let me tell the truth, baby, I'ma keep it 100. So baby, tell me what's new too.
Baila conmigo con este sabor divino. Dando mundos de ríos, la ilusión de los sonidos. Y salta de un sitio a un modo de este tipo. Suelta el fuego del sonido que nos lleva al destino. En el factory we can fly like this. Can I get a big round of applause for today's film?